I hope my voice is coming properly to you. Okay, all right. So if everything is fine, let's initiate the session. Audible? I most probably won't be able to give the test. No problem. If this is the situation, please inform your mentor teacher. We'll try to make some other arrangement for you. But try to attend the test. If not at that time, we'll arrange something for you. Don't worry. Okay, Ananya? Okay, so last class में क्या-क्या पढ़ा भाई हम लोगों ने? क्या-क्या सीखा है? So if you just recall last 2-3 lectures, what we have done in this topic. Okay, I'll give you a quick review, very fast review. So starting from lecture 1, what we have done in atomic structure, just to give you clarity about the whole process and whole concept. So if you recall in this topic, we started with this, then we talked about who was John Dalton. Okay, we have talked about his contribution, isn't it? That what is his contribution in this whole thing? We talked about atomic number, mass number, ions, isotope, isodiphers, isotones, isobars, isoelectronic, isostere. Okay, these things we have done. Then we have solved certain questions based on this, right? We talked about composition of atom, how atoms are composed of, what is their structure, all those things we discussed. We talked about electron, proton, neutron. Apart from that, what else is there inside the given nucleus, right? So like electron, proton, neutron inside the atom, these things are available. In nucleus, we have proton and neutron, which is also known as nucleons. We mentioned leptons and quarks are also existence, right? Having existence. And then we talked about neutrinos, bosons, Higgs boson, etc. We discovered, we discussed about cathode ray experiment, what this does, right? What are different properties of cathode rays? What are different properties of anode rays or proton? All these things we have done. We talked about neutron. We saw certain questions, numerical questions of this type. Remember these kind of questions, which will have more increasing order, right? Do you recall these things, everyone? Do you recall all these things, bachcho? Yes or no? All of you recall? Okay. All of you recall this. Great. So if you can recall all these things, please type 7 in chat box. Fast. Type 7 in chat box if you recall all these things. Yes, sir, we have done all these things. Then we talked about a model called Thomson's model. In Thomson's model, what was the understanding? Uniformly distributed positive charged, and then electrons are emitted like a plum in pudding. Good. Then we talked about Rutherford's model or scattering experiment. Okay. So he has taken thin gold foil, then attacked, and we have shown certain models here also to you. After all these things, in the last session, we started with something very interesting, which was concept of waves. What are different type of waves, wavelength, wave number, etc., etc. Recall these things? We've done or not? So you can revise previous lectures. All the things are already there in the previous lecture. What is amplitude? What are electromagnetic waves, gamma rays, X-rays, these things, right? After this, we have initiated the portion names Bohr's model. So if you come to Bohr's model, I think you can recall this diagram, which we have discussed in class. Yes or no? So this is the current situation. I hope now all of you are at the same level of understanding. Yes, please. Everyone comfortable? Type 1 in chat box. I request all of you to join. Very good. Wonderful. So this person's contribution in atomic structure is of great value, we can say. And the name of person is Niels Bohr. Now, Niels Bohr, what he has done, what he has given us as an idea, or what was his contribution, if you want to put it in simple words. So he mentioned some postulates. Okay. So I'll just revise this whole thing once again. Listen to me carefully. I'm using word postulates. You can note down this term. What is meaning of word postulates? Postulate is, I'm giving a theory, I'm giving a model, but I'm assuming few things that, okay, these are the fundamentals, or on these fundamentals, I'm going to put the whole model. For postulates or for basic references, you cannot question the scientist because he himself is giving these things. For example, Niels Bohr has given this thing very clearly that my model will work for single electron and single nucleus. Everyone please note down this point. And many times examinations have put up this question. Single electron, single nucleus model. So he himself has agreed that my model is valid for single electron and single nucleus. Now, if somebody cross-check this model for 2 electrons, or let's say 2 nuclei, then it is useless because scientist himself has given that my model is valid for single electron, single nucleus. So we should check its validity or its applicability only for this particular set of atoms or ions. So if I give you H, we can say H is representing hydrogen atom. It will carry single electron. It is valid. If you say He plus, it will also carry single electron. Or you say lithium plus 2, that will also carry beryllium plus 3. This will also carry 1 electron, isn't it? How many of you understand this line type 5 in chat box? That these members will have just 1 electron. इन सभी के पास एक इलेक्ट्रॉन होगा. अगर ये बात आपको समझ में आती है तो एक बार 5 टाइप कर दें, जल्दी से 5 टाइप कर दें. जिन्हें नहीं समझ में आती वो 2 टाइप कर सकते हैं कि यार हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्या, कैसे 1 बोल रहे हैं सर. सभी को समझ में आता है इतना? Very nice. So once all of you understand that they all are going to carry just 1 electron, so applicability is clear. Now next point, single nucleus. What is logic of single nucleus and why I have put this point? Many times examinations have put up question like H2 plus. Will it show, this is having just 1 electron, so will it show applicability of Bohr's model? If this question comes in exam, what's your answer? Will it show? These were showing. H2 plus will show 1, not show 2. In chat box, please. H2 plus will show 1, will not show 2. And if you can write the reason, why will it not show? I will be really thankful. Yeah. Anyone who can tell the reason why you are telling 2? Many of you are telling 2. Very good. Because of 2 nuclei. Okay. 2 nucleus हो गए इसके पास, एक H का और एक दूसरे H का. So this will not show. I hope this logic is clear. So first you understand what is applicability of Bohr's model. किसके ऊपर apply करना है, किस पे नहीं करना. तो एक question यहाँ से बनता है, and I think all of you can answer this question. Now the second point, when we talk about different postulates of Bohr's model, so he has given certain statements, right? So can you see this on screen? The atom has a central massive core, जिसका नाम क्या रखा है इन्होंने? न्यूक्लियस बोल दिया उसको. इसमें क्या होंगे? प्रोटॉन्स होंगे और न्यूट्रॉन होंगे. But the size of nucleus is very small. Can I say this was the same outcome? This is the same outcome which we understand from Rutherford's model. Rutherford ने भी बात बताई थी कि एटम के अंदर में न्यूक्लियस होगा, न्यूक्लियस का साइज बहुत छोटा होगा, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर में प्रोटॉन होंगे और न्यूट्रॉन होंगे, बट मास काफी ज्यादा होगा न्यूक्लियस का, isn't it? And that's what we learned also. If you remove electron or if you give electron, मास में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं Na का सिंगल Na एटम का मास कितना है, प्लीज टाइप इन चैट बॉक्स. सारे बच्चे, एक Na एटम का मास कितना है? जस्ट 1 Na एटम. कॉमोदी, वेरी गुड. 23, 23, 23, सब 23 टाइप कर रहे हैं. सिंगल एटम ऑफ सोडियम इज 23 AMU. चलो बहुत अच्छी बात है. अब जरा Na प्लस के लिए बता दो. Na प्लस का मास कितना होगा? Na प्लस में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन रिमूव कर दिया आपने. एंड यू नो मास ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इज 1837 टाइम्स स्मॉलर देन मास ऑफ प्रोटॉन. इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास इतना छोटा होता है, तो 1-2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आ गए, 1-2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स चले गए, कुछ फर्क पड़ेगा क्या? पड़ेगा? कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. इज इट क्लियर? So we can say it will remain same. No, not 22. Electrons will be 22, but mass will be same, right? If somebody asks what is the mass of this, 23 AMU. Electrons पूछेंगे, आप जरूर बोलोगे यहाँ पे इसके पास 11 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स थे, यहाँ पे इसके पास 10 ही बचे. बट एक इलेक्ट्रॉन के जाने का कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज प्रोटॉन्स और न्यूट्रॉन्स इसके पास 11 और 12 यहाँ पे भी 11 और 12, and they are maintaining the mass of 23 mu, right? Is this clear? Is this statement clear to everyone? That electrons का mass ज़्यादा नहीं होता. It's not a big mass or humongous mass. So proton and neutron will decide the mass, and they are inside the nucleus. So this line makes sense. Central massive core nucleus which has proton and neutron. Clear? बिल्कुल समझ में आ गया सबको? Clear है पूरा बच्चों? बहुत ही बढ़िया. So let me check your understanding on this whole thing. Very nice. Now this is clear. The next statement was electron in atom revolve around the nucleus. घूमता रहता है न्यूक्लियस में. कहाँ घूमता है? Discrete orbits. अब जब ये वर्ड डिस्क्रीट ऑर्बिट्स यूज करो इसका मतलब कि इनके लिए कोई स्पेसिफिकेशन होगी, कुछ इसकी खास बात होगी, राइट? सो दीज आर ऑल स्टेबल ऑर्बिट्स और नॉन रेडिएटिंग और स्टेशनरी ऑर्बिट जहां पे आपने एनर्जी लेवल फिक्स किए होते हैं. जैसे अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि आप इसके पहले किस क्लास में थे, इन विच क्लास वर यू स्टडीइंग प्रायर टू दिस ईयर, लाइक लेट्स से इन अक्टूबर 2022 यू वर स्टडीइंग इन विच क्लास, राइट? किस क्लास में थे भाई? उसका आंसर तो सेम ही होना चाहिए. 10th में थे सारे लोग. अच्छा, बहुत अच्छी बात है. आप में से कोई 10.1 क्लास नहीं पढ़ा? कितने लोग 10.1 क्लास पढ़े? 10.2 क्लास, 10.3 नहीं पढ़ा? 10.3 क्यों नहीं पढ़ा? 10 के बाद तो 10.1 आता है ना, 10.2 आता है, 10.3 आता है, 10.4 भी आता है. सीधा कहाँ पहुंच गए? 10 के बाद सीधा कहाँ पहुंच गए? 11 में पहुंच गए. कुछ समझ में आई बात? एग्जैक्टली. जैसे आपने क्या किया, 10 के बाद सीधा 11 में गया. और 10 से पहले कहां पे थे? 10 के पहले क्या 9.9 में कोई पढ़ा है? 9.7 में कोई पढ़ा है? 9.6 में कोई नहीं पढ़ा. सब 9 में पढ़े होंगे इसके पहले. इज इट क्लियर? दैट इज कॉल्ड डिस्क्रीट ऑर्बिट. अब समझ में आ जाएगा, इससे अच्छा कोई एग्जाम्पल नहीं हो सकता. सो डिस्क्रीट ऑर्बिट मतलब इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के लिए भी क्या किया, ऐसे फिक्स कर रखिए. वी हैव फिक्स्ड डिफरेंट एनर्जी ऑर्बिट्स फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आल्सो. Now, whenever electron will move, it will go from one state to the other state, to the other state, to the other state, but it can't be present in between all these states. You get the point? So there are certain fixed stationary orbit means in terms of energy I am talking. Okay? That it has to maintain this much energy or it has to maintain this much energy. अब उन दोनों के बीच में जो एनर्जी है उसकी बात हम नहीं कर पा रहे. या तो वो एनर्जी लूज करके इधर आ जाएगा या गेन करके आगे निकल जाएगा. इज दैट क्लियर? कितने लोगों को बात समझ में आती है? इफ यस प्लीज टाइप 1 इन चैट बॉक्स क्विकली. ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज टाइप 1 इन चैट बॉक्स. बहुत बेसिक सी बात है, राइट? नाउ जस्ट कम टू दिस डायग्राम वंस अगेन. इन दिस डायग्राम वी हैव गिवन क्लैरिटी अबाउट, और ये सब मैं बता चुका हूं लास्ट क्लास में, मैं सिर्फ रिपीट कर रहा हूं ताकि सभी को समझ में आए एक बार अच्छे से. सो इफ यू आर एट n इक्वल्स 1, 1 से 2 पे जाएंगे, 2 से 3 में, 3 से 4 में, ऑन सो ऑन, और करते 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 आप बाहर निकल के इन्फिनिटी तक चले जाओगे. इन्फिनिटी तक जाओगे, राइट? बहुत दूर चले गए, देन इट इज इन्फिनिटी. व्हेन यू गो टू इन्फिनिटी, दैट मींस इलेक्ट्रॉन इज आउट ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ फोर्सेस ऑफ न्यूक्लियस, और इलेक्ट्रॉन has parted way with nucleus. Electron has lost the control from nucleus, right? अब इलेक्ट्रॉन की अपनी अलग एग्जिस्टेंस है, न्यूक्लियस अलग रह गया. इसको बोलते हैं आयोनाइज्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन. क्या बोलोगे? इफ इट इज इन्फिनिटी यू कैन से इलेक्ट्रॉन इज ionized, okay, or we can say that particular element is ionized, right? That's a better statement. Electron निकल गया, यहां से बाहर चला गया, छोड़ दिया उसने. Is it clear? ठीक है, चलिए, ये सब समझ में आता है. So in the last class, if you just revise last class notes, we have discussed the situation is like this, that let me draw circle. लग रहा है? बिल्कुल लग रहा है. Okay, now let us draw okay, let's say this is a nucleus, right? And electrons are revolving around or moving around. So ये electron मान लेते हैं, this is nucleus which is having proton and neutrons. Electron is moving around, revolving around. So electron के पास एक velocity अपनी v, इसका mass है m. In nucleus, inside the nucleus, we have protons and neutrons. Neutrons are neutral, protons are charged. If atomic number is Z, how many protons do you expect? Type in chat box. If atomic number is Z, how many protons do we expect? सभी को समझ में आता है? Z, very good. तो आपने बोला भाई Z protons है मेरे पास. अच्छा Z protons हैं. तो Z protons पे charge कितना होगा? The value of charge of electron and proton is exactly same of magnitude E. And with what is the value of E? E is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulombs. E is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulombs. So you say that plus ZE is the charge here. How many of you understand plus ZE is the charge inside the nucleus? Plus ZE charge is there because neutrons are 0. Please type 3 quickly in chat box if this line is clear. Plus ZE charge inside the nucleus. Everyone participate. Answer. Very good. Plus ZE. Okay. Now, whenever you have two opposite charges, let's say Q1 and Q2. Okay. What kind of forces they feel? If they are at a distance of R, can I say they will feel attraction force and distance is R. So with which formula of physics is going to help you out in this whole scenario? What formula would apply for force value? So we write force is equal to a constant K times Q1, Q2 divided by R square. Note down if you don't know. And if you know, that's great. So the formula is force is equal to constant Q1 into Q2 upon R square. While writing this formula, this is attraction force or repulsive force. It will be based on this charges symbol or sign. So magnitude Q1 and Q2 I'm considering here. K is a constant. Value of K is 9 into 10 raised to power. Yes, how much? 9 or 19? How much is the value? Type in chat box. कितने लोगों को पता है? K की value कितनी होती है? 19. 9. Okay. Fine. So K की value 9, 10 for 9 MKs, right? So anyways, अगर आपको नहीं पता इसको छोड़ दो अभी, टेंशन मत लो इसकी, मैं आपको दे दूंगा वैल्यू. अब ये फोकस करो सिर्फ इस पूरे डिस्कशन पे. So force is K Q1 Q2 upon R square. What is value of Q1? Q1 is ZE. What is value of Q2? Q2 is E. So what shall be the value of force? K times ZE into E upon R square, which is K times ZE square upon R square. Clear? ये सभी को समझ में आता है? यानी कि आपके जो न्यूक्लियस है और आपके पास जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इसके बीच में एक भाई फोर्स है और उस फोर्स का वैल्यू कितना है? What is the value of this force of attraction? This much, F force. इससे पुलिंग चल रही. Can we say this force is responsible for centripetal force, which is defined as अगर mass m v velocity से r radius में move कर रहा है, then that is mv square by r. So there are two ways to say that k ZE square upon r square is equal to mv square by r because centripetal force is provided by electrostatic force. Statement समझ में आती है बच्चों? If yes, please type 1 in chat box. All of you participate. Everyone participate. Q2 is E, बच्चे. Q2 is E. Wait. Very nice. Yeah, so few students were asking about our application. So very good news on that part. So our internal testing is almost approved. And very soon we're going to take you to the tour of our application as well. So that's almost done from our end. Okay. And so wonderful application. You will love it. Right. Now, can we say K ZE square upon R square and MV square? How many of you are excited for application? App basically. Great. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. चलिए आगे बढ़े. Yeah, it is compatible on laptop also. Our application will be compatible with laptop also. Android version is initially launched. So iOS also we are launching. So Android version, there are certain changes we are doing internally. Once it is done, you will be taken to a tour of that whole thing. Okay. Don't worry. So we'll take you for a tour, how to use it, and all other things will be done soon. Great. So what is the result here? We can say KZE square upon R square is equal to MV square by R. These are equal. Why these are equal? Because centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction. This is one version. Other version, if you learn later part of mechanics, you will come to know about a force called pseudo force. Pseudo force. And when I use word pseudo force is a force. Pseudo force is a force which is a kind of fictional force arranged in what do you call frame of reference of that object itself, right? It's a fictional force. Okay, great. Is it clear? So that time we will say that centripetal force word will not use, we'll use a word called centrifugal force. Conceptually, both are same. The only difference is we have changed the name of that particular thing, right? But the logic remains same, fundamental remains same, equation remains same. So what is the equation that we get out of it? Can you please all of you write down? And आज थोड़ी maths भी solve करेंगे, आप questions करेंगे class में. Okay. So please write down the equation that we have learned from this whole discussion. Why it is called a pseudo force? Because this force is not actually available. It is just available for frame of reference of the object. Okay. KZE square upon R square is MV square by. Very good बच्चे, बहुत ही बढ़िया कॉमेडी. So एक बहुत सिंपल सी बात है कि यार मेरे को क्या करना है, इसको लेना है, ठीक है, इसको लिया, and I have taken this, and दोनों को equal कर दिया. यही तो कर रहे हो यार, इतना समझ में आता है सबको? So this is your equation in simple words. This is your equation in very, very simple words. ठीक है? Clear? Comfortable situation? Any problems you may ask. Anyone having any issues up to this can come on mic and discuss with it. Right now. Sir, will atomic structure come for Sunday's exam? Answer is no, it will not. Sunday's exam is only, yeah. So those students who have joined recently should not worry. Yes. Please come on mic.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Sir, the Q1 refers to as the positive charge and Q2 is the negative charge. I mean the charge on electrons.
Correct.
Q1 is charge of protons.
Correct. But electron and proton charge is equal, just opposite sign, isn't it? We are talking about magnitude, Q1 and Q2. So the value will be Z number of protons. Har ek pe charge kitna hai? E. So Z is the net charge. And for electrons, we have just one electron. It's a single electron model. Charge is E. Clear?
Single electron model for...
The current discussion is about you have just one electron. And how many protons? Protons can be, see, if this is the nucleus of lithium, if it's the like lithium nucleus, then protons will be how many? 3? Yes or no? If it is the nucleus of helium,
yes, sir,
then this will be 2. If it is hydrogen, then it is 1. If it is beryllium, then you understand? This is 4. So Z can be anything, right? Protons can be any number. So how many protons, that will depend upon which nucleus are we talking about? Are we talking about hydrogen nucleus or He plus or Li plus 2 or beryllium plus 3? Is that clear? If it is He plus question, then you will have 2E value of charge for proton. If it is Li plus 2, then you will have 3E value, right? If you have hydrogen, then you have just 1E. I think it is clear, Sana.
Sir, sir, in the case of hydrogen, Q2 will be 0?
Why 0? Hydrogen has 1 electron, no? It's not H plus, it is H. Electrons are there. H will have 1 electron, no?
If it was H plus, then...
No answer. If it is H plus, how many electrons do you have, Sana? 0.
0.
Is Bohr model applicable for 0 electron? What we have learned here? What is the learning?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a single electron, single nucleus model. If I say single electron, is it valid for zero electron?
No, sir.
No, fine. So then we can't discuss about it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
But
Thank
when we
you.
say H, He plus Li plus 2 or B plus 3, they all will have one electron for sure. ये बात सबको समझ में आ रही है? अगर आपके पास H है, He plus है, Li plus 2 है, beryllium plus 3 है, सभी के पास इलेक्ट्रॉन एक ही है. I hope this point should be very, very clear to all of you. Absolutely clear. Any other doubts, anyone? Great. सारा को समझ में आ गया. और किसी को कोई भी डाउट? I think ये डाउट कुछ लोगों का और भी हो सकता है, but I think इसके बाद क्लियर हो जाना चाहिए. Great. So this equation is clear. This whole discussion is clear, and I can understand that you learned up to this whole part, right? Okay. बहुत ही बढ़िया. चलिए. If this is clear, let me take this part aside. I'll make it slightly small, this whole portion, and keep it here. I hope it is visible also, but just to create a space, I'm using this. Fine. ये सब set कर दिया मैंने. Sure. Now the second part. In the last class, we discussed a term called angular momentum, and angular momentum is defined as, yes, what was the definition? Vector L. So most of you have not done vector. I think Ashin sir just started vector, but let's not go into detail of that. I'll give you a direct formula that angular momentum for an object moving in a circular motion, how we can solve. So vector L is actually m r cross v, and magnitude of vector L is m r v sine theta, where theta is angle between r and v. This angle theta. Look at the angle theta in the diagram. R ऐसे जा रहा है, V इधर है, so R और V के बीच का angle. And sine theta, in this case, theta is how much? Please type in chat box. In our case, what is the value of theta? Everyone? 90 degrees. Very good. Right. So since your theta value is 90 degrees, this is MRV sine 90. And sine 90 is nothing but 1. So it becomes MRV. So we get another formula, that angular momentum value, which is MRV, for a what do you call? Circular track or circular path. Fine? MRV or MVR, कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं आप इसको. ये एंगुलर मोमेंटम है. अब बोर का दूसरा स्टेटमेंट ध्यान से सुनना. इन्होंने बोला भाई बाकी सब तो ठीक है, बट ये जो MVR है, एंगुलर मोमेंटम which is MVR, this is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. अब इसके लिए इन्होंने कुछ अपनी चीजें यूज की होंगी, कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए, कुछ किया, and then he come up with this number. MVR is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. What is meaning of integral multiple? That h upon 2 pi में आप इंटीजर का मल्टीप्लाई करते जाओ. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that n is same as the orbit in which it is moving. So if you are moving in first orbit, what is the value of n? 1. Second orbit, n value is 2. Third orbit, n value is 3. Fourth orbit, n value is 4. So MVR is 1h upon 2 pi, or 2h upon 2 pi, or 3h upon 2 pi, or 4h upon 2 pi, or 5h upon 2 pi, or 6h upon 2 pi, depending on which n are you using, or which orbit the electron is right now. Is this line clear to everyone? Isn't it? Everyone, I hope this should be very clear. Okay. Clear? Fine. So if it is clear, we can say angular momentum MVR is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So we can write n times h upon 2 pi. दोनों इक्वेशन आ गए आपके पास? बहुत ही बढ़िया. अब एक काम करो, ये दो इक्वेशंस आपके पास हैं, and I know that your maths is really great. So मेरे को एक काम करके दो quickly सारे लोग. I need value of V from these two equations, value of R from these two equations. करें? Solve करें maths? चलिए, let's see. अब ये मत बोला मेरे को कि R is NH upon 2 pi MV. आप R मेरे को V के फॉर्म में दे दो और V R के फॉर्म में दे दो तो मुझसे नहीं काम चलेगा. You have to give me the value of R and V irrespective of the values, right? Understood? Try. Let's start doing it. H upon 2 pi is a constant. Yes, H is a fixed number, Planck's constant, and H upon 2 pi is a constant. Correct. So H is a constant, pi is, you know, the pi value is fixed. We'll talk about H also. What is meaning of H, how it comes from. But as of now, R is NH upon 2 pi mv, V is NH upon 2 pi mr, but that will not solve the problem. You have to give me the value of V and R independently of R and V respectively. I hope you understood what I'm asking for. Try. Take 1 minute time, not a problem. Take 2 minutes time, not a problem. But try to get the answer. Sayed, can you hear me? If yes, type 1 in chat box. Because I can see that your mic is having some problem. Sayed. Sayed Ahmad, can you hear me? Type 1 in chat box. I don't think so. There's some problem with your setup, as per my understanding. Okay. कॉमोदी ने तो आंसर निकाल दिया, n square h square upon 4 pi square m k z square. क्या बात है, बहुत ही बढ़िया, वेरी गुड. R is k z square upon v square. बच्चे R v के टर्म में मत दो मेरे को. If you're giving me see, you are solving two equations. I'm looking forward for two unknowns R and V. If you're giving R in terms of V, V in terms of R, that's not like we are not achieving anything out of it, right? Try to get R independent of V and V independent of R. Hope you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. कैसे करेंगे सॉल्व? देखो एक आसान तरीका आपके पास है, बहुत ही आसान तरीका. You can use that method. See, this R cancels this R, one of the R's. So the left hand side becomes, can I write it like this? mv square R, if you just multiply R, is k times z square. Please check this and confirm. Can I cross multiply R that side and write mv square R is k z square? Check and confirm quickly. ये सबको समझ में आता है? ये डेरिवेशन सीख लेना, बिकॉज याद नहीं करना पड़ेगा. And then we'll see. Just focus on this method first. How many of you understand the first equations change? This small change. If yes, type 1 in chat box. I expect everyone typing 1 if you understand this whole thing. mv square R is kz square. फटाफट 1 टाइप कर दो. अगर सबको सभी को यार टाइप करना है 1, नहीं आया तो 2 भी टाइप कर सकते हैं. ऐसा कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं है कि आपको 1 ही टाइप करना है. अगर नहीं समझ में आया तो 2 भी टाइप करो, मैं फिर से बताऊंगा. But if you understand, please type 1 and please participate. पूरी क्लास को पार्टिसिपेट करना है, हर बच्चे को. प्रदीप, अभी, युवराज, दीपिका, कौमुदी, आराधना, अक्षिता, आकाश, वेद, others. How about others? Quickly. Very nice. So, if you're doing this, mv square R is kz square. That's 1. Okay. So how are you going to solve? Look at the second equation. It is mvr is nh upon 2 pi. I have mv square R and I have mvr. If I divide 1 upon 2, let's say this is 1, this is 2. And if you do 1 upon 2, 1 divided by 2. So क्या achieve होगा यहाँ से? What we can get? mv square R divided by mvr. M cancel, R cancel. बचा क्या? V बच गया? V is remaining. And that is equal to how much? kz square upon nh upon 2 pi. So if you solve it carefully, V comes out to be 2 pi kz square upon nh. ऐसा रिजल्ट आ रहा है किसी का? आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है? जल्दी बता दो. कितने लोगों को ये रिजल्ट आ रहा है? ऐसे कुछ रिजल्ट आ रहा है 2 पाई के, चेक करके देख लो आराम से, 2 पाई के ZE स्क्वायर अपॉन NH. आर यू गेटिंग दिस रिजल्ट? यस टाइप 1, नो टाइप 2. बहुत सिंपल सी मैथ्स बताई मैंने, बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है तो यार. दो इक्वेशन लिखी है, mv स्क्वायर बाय r is k ZE स्क्वायर अपॉन r स्क्वायर, mv r is NH अपॉन 2 पाई, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई, डिवाइड इट, यू गेट v. कर ले जाओगे? सब कर पा रहे हैं? क्या बात, बहुत ही बढ़िया. अब देखिए v आपको इस इक्वेशन में गिवन है, r आपको निकालना है तो निकाल सकते हैं ना r हम. r इज व्हाट? NH अपॉन 2 पाई mv. पर मेरे को बस v की वैल्यू जाके यहाँ पे रख देनी है. जैसे v की वैल्यू रखूंगा ये पूरा जो एक्सप्रेशन है v के इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाएगा एंड विल गेट द फाइनल आंसर. So since r is NH upon 2 pi mv and we are going to plan for solving the value of r, can I say r is NH divided by 2 pi m. अब v की वैल्यू कितनी है बच्चे? 2 pi k ZE square upon NH. रख दो यहाँ पे. अब इसको सॉल्व कर लो, इसकी मैथ सॉल्व कर लो. So this NH will go up, ये उड़ के ऊपर चला जाएगा. ये पता है मैथ्स में कैसे होता है, a upon b by c is ac upon b. So this is n square h square divided by this 2 into 2 is 4, pi into pi is pi square, m k ZE square. I think कॉमोदी ने आंसर सबसे पहले दे दिया था. Let me check, किसने दिया था? कॉमोदी ने दिया था. N square h square 4 pi square m k ZE square. Perfect. That's the correct answer. Very good. Wonderful. How many of you understand this complete process? How to solve V, how to solve R? टाइम ले लो, कोई जल्दीबाजी नहीं. वी आर नॉट इन हरी. हमारा पोर्शन बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है, ठीक है, काफी आराम से हम पढ़ भी रहे हैं, सारी चीजें समझ भी रहे हैं, एंड हम एग्जाम फोड़ने वाले हैं ना. टाइम ले लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. दो इक्वेशन सॉल्व करके आपने V निकाल दिया और R निकाल दिया, पूरा फंडा क्लियर. जहां जहां तक जो रिक्वायरमेंट थी मैंने आपको बता दी. एंगुलर मोमेंटम का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है, थीटा की वैल्यू 90 क्यों है, mvr is NH upon 2 pi, what is n? Nth orbit of energy which we are talking about. Is it clear? Comedy, yes, you can ask.
Sir, I did a bit different thing. I first equated both the equation to R.
वो भी सही है, वो भी सही है. That's also correct. That's also correct. No problem. Method is correct. Don't worry. Okay. So see, you are getting multiple ways are there to solve this. Right? I have shown one simple way which normally students understand very quickly. That's why I've shown this method. There can be n number of methods to solve these equations, but your answer should not change. That's for sure. Okay, everyone comfortable? Sir, but in such type of questions, how will we get to know that we have to divide the first by the second? Ananya, बेटा इसमें ऐसे नहीं करो. देखो आप कुछ भी करो, आपको एक अननोन हटाना है. अब मैंने क्या देखा, पहले में फर्स्ट वन इज mv स्क्वायर बाय r, सेकंड वन इज mvr. तो मुझे कैसे पता चला कि डिवाइड करने से फायदा होगा? बिकॉज वन इज हैविंग mv into v into r, अदर इज हैविंग mvr. इफ आई डिवाइड एवरीथिंग गेट कैंसिल, v आ जाएगा. ये आपको सोचना पड़ेगा, राइट? और चलो अगर ये मान लो नहीं सोच पाते, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, आप एक काम कर दो, mv स्क्वायर इज k ZE स्क्वायर अपॉन r. ये तो पता ही है आपको, mv स्क्वायर का वैल्यू पता है. यू कैन जस्ट टेक द वैल्यू ऑफ r एंड पुट इट इन द अदर इक्वेशन, वहां से भी निकाल लो, सेम ही आएगा. तो आंसर निकालने के तरीके बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं, बट फाइनल रिजल्ट एक ही आना चाहिए. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. Every one of you, please listen to me very carefully. You got one result, which is here. You have another result that is here. पहले तो मैं दोनों रिजल्ट की बात कर रहा हूं. आपका पूरा फोकस इन दो रिजल्ट्स पे होना चाहिए, बाकी सब आप भूल जाओ थोड़ी देर के लिए. ओके, सो वन इज दिस, अदर इज दिस. ये दोनों रिजल्ट्स आपको दिख रहे हैं, आपका पूरा फोकस इन रिजल्ट्स पे होना चाहिए. Now look at this result and tell me, V is 2 एक नंबर है, pi भी 3.14 होता है, सबको पता है. K is a constant. Z डिपेंड करेगा भाई हमने कौन सा एटम लिया, which element we have taken, its values Z. E square is fixed because E is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulombs. Everybody knows. H is Planck's constant. So in this whole expression, don't you think most of the things are constants? Think once again what I'm telling. Listen to me once again. Let me repeat it once again quickly. आपके पास इस पूरे स्टेटमेंट में डिफरेंट नंबर्स लिखे हुए हैं. So what I'm telling is 2 is a number. Please pay attention. Let me make it big. Okay. 2 is a number. Pi is a number which is fixed. K is a number which is fixed. H is Planck's constant, that is also fixed. Charge of electron is also fixed. So what is variable? Your atom can be different, so Z can be different. And electron can be in different orbits, so N can be different. Rest all is fixed or not? Yes. Confirm please, if this is clear to all of you. Sir, it is correct. Fine. So can I use a word or a line V proportional to Z by N? लिख लेना, बहुत काम की लाइन है, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आप इसे सॉल्व करने वाले. I'll tell you how and why. V proportional to Z by N. Okay, I'll give an example. So you have hydrogen in first orbit and helium plus also in first orbit. Whose velocity will be more? Type in chat box. Hydrogen atom, electron in first orbit, helium plus electron in first orbit. Whose velocity will be more? सोचो. Velocity is proportional to Z by N. अब N तो आपने दोनों का 1 कर दिया. You are talking about first orbit for both. So V depends on Z. Z किसका ज्यादा है? Helium का. तो velocity किसकी ज्यादा होगी? Helium की. हो रहा है? Now think about this question. You have hydrogen and you are talking about two different hydrogen atoms. One is carrying electron in second orbit, one is carrying electron in first orbit. Whose velocity is more? Answer. किसकी velocity ज्यादा होगी? कर पा रहे हो सारी चीजें? If Z is fixed, bigger and smaller velocity, smaller and bigger velocity. ये सारे results निकल के आ रहे हैं. What shall be answered? Whose velocity is more? First will be more. Is it clear? Comfortable, everyone? Very nice. Very nice. Now let us see the same thing for R. Same discussion for R. Okay. Any doubts up to this? Please ask if you have.
Yes, sir. What was K represented again?
K is a constant, बच्चे. K constant है. ध्यान से देखो ये आया था ना K. This is the same K. K, Q, and Q2. It's a constant. Its numerical value is 9 into 10^9. That will be given to you. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, beta. Now come to this. चलिए अब देखते हैं इसमें कौन कौन मेरे को बताने वाला है. H constant है कि नहीं? बोलो बच्चे. H constant है. Planck's constant होता है. 4 एक नंबर हो गया. Pi नंबर है. Mass of electron. Can mass of electron change? इस वाले में अलग है, उस वाले में अलग है. Is it possible? Can mass of electron change? Cannot change. Fix a number. Electron का mass तो 9.1 10 minus 31 किलोग्राम ही होने वाला है. You solve for any case. K fixed है. Electronic charge fixed है. So what is the variable here in this whole situation? What things are changing? So things which are changing, I am keeping with other color maybe. That will be better. Or okay, maybe I'll just do it here. N square Z. चेक करो. N square और Z के अलावा बाकी सारी चीजें कांस्टेंट है कि नहीं. और अगर ये बात आपको समझ में आती है, then आप सीख गए हो पूरा. You learned everything. So can we write? What shall I write? Tell me. R should be proportional to. What shall I write? Now you will tell me this time. I will not tell. R is proportional to. N square upon Z. Very good. N square upon Z. Wonderful. Excellent. So all of us understand R is proportional to N square upon Z. Okay. V proportional to Z by N, R proportional to N square by Z. Clear? Any problem in this, any issues in this, anything which you are finding difficult in this conversation. This much is clear. We can proceed further. Let's proceed. So MVR is NH upon 2 pi, M is mass of electron, R is radius of electronic orbit, V is velocity of electron in the orbit, and MVR is angular momentum, which is quantized, and that is NH upon 2 pi. This already we know. We also know that it is quantized as per the different, what do you call, energy levels. So we'll talk about a term called principal quantum number. Don't worry about this term right now. Okay. Ignore this. But I hope this is clear that if you provide energy to electron, it will move from here to here to here to here. It will take energy and go to higher level. That is clear. Okay. Now, Bohr's model satisfactorily explain one electron model for hydrogen, helium plus, Li plus 2, etc., etc. This logic is clear. Anyone having any problem with this? This is clear to everyone? Great. चले आगे. And आपने दो results में निकाल लिए. Yeah, quantize means you can say in multiple of certain integers. इस तरीके से आप बोल सकते हैं packet के form में. So quantize basically packet of energy. इसके हम बात करेंगे बच्चे. जैसे आप when you talk about a term called photons, right? Photons are bundle of energy. If light की बात करते हो ना, if you talk about light, so light is a wave. As a wave, you can talk, or you can say bundle of energy. So each photon is having certain value of energy, which is represented with a term called small h into nu. Okay, what is h? The same number, Planck's constant. तो आपने देखा कि भाई जो light wave जा रही है, उसकी energy proportional है frequency के. If you put a constant, that constant is h, and we come up with E is h into nu. ये discussion आती है पूरी. And when you talk about this h nu, the nu is c by lambda. That already we have proved that frequency is c by lambda or lambda is c by nu. This information you already know. So E comes out to be hc by lambda. E comes out to be hc by lambda. ठीक है? यानी अगर आप किसी भी फोटोन की बात करते हैं तो उस केस में जो एनर्जी ट्रांसफर होगा वो hc by lambda, 2hc by lambda, 3hc by lambda, 4hc by lambda, 5hc by lambda इस फॉर्म में होगा. It can't be 1.1 hc by lambda. It has to be always quantized as a packet. Clear है? तो ये quantized word समझ में आ रहा है? Quantized word क्यों आएगा, कैसे आएगा आगे? Okay? Comedy, is it clear to you? Fine. We'll talk about this in detail also. Don't worry. Come back to this. So calculation of radius of Bohr's orbit, F is k z square upon r square. I hope this we already explained this part. And then we write that k is 9 into 10 raised to the power 9 units. That value will be given to you in exam, or you can remember it. Centripetal forces, mv square by r, and we are equating k z square upon r square with mv square by r. All right. Anyone having any doubt? I think I've explained each and everything up to this. Yes or no? Okay. So if this is clear, we come up with the results, and results were n square h square upon 4 pi m square. Okay. So this is the final result. R is, look at the value. I think the same value you're getting. N square h square upon 4 pi square m k z e square. This is the final number. It's the correct number. Or R is n square by z into, if you solve this numerical value, if you put all the constants value of h, 6.6, 10 power minus 34, value of pi, value of m, value of k, value of e square, then this whole thing comes out to be 0.529. Okay. So we have written R is proportional to n square by z. But when you talk about what is the number, that number is 0.529 after solving the whole thing. And this unit is called angstrom. Angstrom is unit of distance. Fine. Any problem in this? Any issues up to this part? Clear? Just one. Okay. All of you comfortable up to this part? If yes, type 3 in chat box. मैं 3 चाहता हूं, जितने भी लोग यहाँ पे सेशन देख रहे हैं, सभी को टाइप करना है. Everyone. Let us see. Good. Wonderful. Fine. So we'll solve some questions here just for further clarity. Okay. So V is NH upon, this is NH upon 2 pi. This is 2 pi written like this. So V is how much? V is NH upon 2 pi mr. And the value of NH upon 2 pi mr you can use. All right. Okay. Fine. And the value of R, if we keep it back, how much it comes? 2 pi ZE square upon NH. Check our result. I think we got the same result. 2 pi ZE square upon NH. I'll take you to the main page where we discussed all these things. And that page is here. Where is God? Here. Check value of V. 2 pi k ZE square upon NH. And N square H square upon 4 pi square M k ZE square. Look at these numbers. Or maybe we can do one thing. We can just take these things to that page. It will make our job easier. Okay. Let me take this whole thing to that page where we are right now. Okay. So you should not remember many things. You can just understand with this whole thing. Yeah. Compare the value. Compare the value here. 2 pi k ZE square upon NH. Okay, and this k is missing. Yes. Or compare the value at this place. Fine. Can you do this or not? All of you. Is it fine? चलिए उस पे कुछ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं फॉर प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 velocity of hydrogen electron in n equals 2 ratio taken for velocity of Li plus 2 in n equals 3 is how much? Question number 2. Ratio of radius of helium plus in n equals 3 taken with ratio of lithium plus 2 in n equals 2 is how much? Solve करो सभी लोग solve करेंगे and then we'll discuss these questions also. You can take time, don't be in hurry. सही आंसर देना जरूरी है, जल्दी आंसर देना जरूरी नहीं है. आप आराम से आंसर दो, ठीक है, but आंसर करेक्ट होना चाहिए. I'll give you the supporting concept. Supporting concept is V proportional to Z by N and R proportional to N square upon Z. Okay. Supporting concept clear है? V Z by N के proportional होता है और R N square upon Z के proportional होता है. चलिए थोड़ा और सपोर्ट करते हैं आपका. इसके लिए Z होता है 1. For Li, how much is the value of Z? It is 3. What is the value of Z for helium plus 2? And what is the Z for Li plus 2? 3. ये भी हेल्प कर दी मैंने आपको. अब तो कर लोगे, हो जाएगा सॉल्व. So what's the answer for first question in chat box? First question, what shall be answered? Everyone should participate. Each and everyone should participate. Sana answers half, Komadi answers half. I want everyone's name. Paridhi's answer half, right? Good. Aishwarya half, very good. Ved half, Vaibhavi half, Akshita half. ये सबका ही हाफ आ रहा है क्या? हाफ ही आंसर है, किसी और का अलग आंसर नहीं आ रहा है? इसका आ रहा है q/2. अच्छा, क्वेश्चन 2 का भी निकाल रहे हैं लोग. क्वेश्चन 2 भी निकाल डाला, क्या बात है. क्वेश्चन 1 का सबका हाफ आ रहा है. चलिए देखते हैं हाफ क्यों आ रहा है. V proportional to Z by N. So if you say V proportional to Z by N, then what's our understanding? If V is proportional to Z by N, we can simply say that this is proportional to 1/2 and this is proportional to how much? Z by N, that is 3/3. होगा कि नहीं होगा? Rest all is constant, will take care of each other. But number wise 1/2 and 3/3, is it clear? 1/2 and 3/3. So what's my result? This is nothing but half. So if you're getting half, you're right. Good. Go to the next question. हाँ कराऊंगा, और क्वेश्चन कराऊंगा, टेंशन मत लो। आर He प्लस और Li+2, ये वाले का भी आंसर कर दो जल्दी से। क्वेश्चन 2 का आंसर सारे लोग कर दें। व्हाट इज द आंसर ऑफ क्वेश्चन 2? 27/8। क्या बात है, काफी बड़ा आंसर निकाल दिया आपने। सही है क्या? चेक करेंगे। कैसे सॉल्व करोगे? n² n कितना है भाई इसका? n देखो 3 लिखा हुआ है, 3²। z कितना है इसका? 2। n² नीचे वाले का कितना है? 2²। z कितना है? 3। आंसर क्या हो गया? 3² × 3/2² × 2। सबका आंसर अगर यार है, आई थिंक दिस इज द राइट आंसर। 27/8 यही आंसर है। काफी लोग 27/8 है। बेटे आपने 4/9 निकाल दिया कार्तिक। इज इट क्लियर टू यू कार्तिक? कैसे आ रहा है 27/8? कुछ मिस्टेक की होगी कहीं पे कैलकुलेशन में। n²/z, दिस इज n²/z। क्लियर? हाउ मेनी अंडरस्टूड अप टू दिस? एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर, कॉन्सेप्चुअली क्लियर, पूरा समझ में आ गया? मजा आई क्लास में? कितने लोग क्लास में मजा आई? 10 टाइप कर दो। अच्छा लगा क्लास, सब समझ में आ गया, डेरिवेशन भी सीख लिया, क्वेश्चन भी कर लिया, आंसर भी निकल आया। क्या बात है, 10 लाख। V और N सीख लिया पूरा। तो एक क्वेश्चन ज्यादा ज्यादा आपसे और हो जाए प्रैक्टिस के लिए। क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 भी कर लो। क्वेश्चन 3 इज रेडियस रेशियो ऑफ Li+2 for n = 4. Ratio taken with radius of beryllium +3 for n = 3 is how much? Quickly, you should give the answer. Let us see. क्या करने वाले हो? n²/z. Lithium Z is how much? 3. Beryllium Z is how much? 4. So your answer should be, तो देखते हैं, 64/27, 8/3. Proportional to n²/z. Ratio we are taking beta. n²/z proportional to n²/z. तो आप n² और z दोनों लेके चलोगे ना? सी, पहले मैं इसके लिए वैल्यू लिखूंगा n² कितना है? 4²/3। फिर मैं इसके लिए वैल्यू लिखूंगा रेशियो लेके देते समय, n² इज 3²/4। अब आपको मैथमेटिकली सॉल्व करना, कैंसिल वैंसिल मत कर देना यार, 4 वो ऊपर जाता है, 4 × 4 × 4 एंड 3 × 3 × 3, कितना नंबर निकल के आता है? 64/27। बहुत ही बढ़िया, क्या बात है, 64/27 is the answer. कर लेंगे, मतलब आप लोग सीख गए पूरा। चलिए इसके आगे बढ़ेंगे हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्लास में, और मैं थोड़ा सा एक बार मूल कॉन्सेप्ट का रिवीजन कराऊंगा, कुछ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे हम लोग, देखेंगे वो भी, ठीक है? तो उसकी भी प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं एक बार, और इसके आगे का डिस्कशन नेक्स्ट क्लास में करते हैं। आई थिंक अप टू दिस इज क्लियर। सो आपको V का वैल्यू, R का वैल्यू, ये सब समझ में आ गया, और आपने कुछ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए। लेट्स कीप फर्दर डिस्कशंस फॉर फर्दर क्लास, नेक्स्ट क्लास। I'll close the link, same link for biology class of Vicky sir, same link after 2 minutes. Okay, till then you can take rest. किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पूछ सकता है। Anyone having any doubt, you may ask.